Hello, everyone. It's Brendan again from Repo Man, and I'm making what is hopefully going to be a quick video today to answer a question. Before I get into that, if you would please observe what's on the screen right now and do some or all of that, I would appreciate it. And as always, thanks for watching. And with that said, the question I was asked is, how do I do my screen capture recordings? So I'm going to explain that right now. If you look, you will see this window right here. This is a piece of software called OBS. That is Oscar Bravo Sierra. I believe that stands for Open Broadcast Software or Open Broadcast System or Open Broadcast something else. It starts with S. And if you look in this section of the screen, you can see that I have several sources set up. Up here it says sources. These are my sources. One of those is display capture. If you want to add a source, you just click the plus button and then you get a whole list of potential options. ASIO input, ASIO, this is an audio thing, ASIO input capture, application audio capture, yada, 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 display capture, which is what I'm using right now, and then video capture device, which we're going to get into in a minute. So display capture just is my screen. Then video capture, if I click that, you'll see my little window down here pop up. I can move that wherever I want it. I can even make it bigger or smaller. I typically try to have it just in the corner down around where the master bus is in Reaper. And so those are my video sources. It is this one, which is a webcam, and then it's this one, which is my screen. And because it's capturing the screen, it's showing OBS, which is showing my screen, which is showing OBS, which is showing my screen, and so forth. That's why we have this kind of infinite tunnel. I bring that up because if you start up OBS and you start a display capture, you're going to see that. There's nothing wrong. OBS always looks like that. And it bears mention that I, in the studio, have a separate monitor, and typically I will move this over to that monitor so I can keep an eye on it without taking up any screen space. Of course, you can just click on another application and it goes to the back. So now I'm looking at Reaper and I don't have to look at OBS. Going back to OBS, again, having another screen is really handy for OBS because I can keep an eye on it without having it show on screen. Now, speaking of the other monitor, in my videos, sometimes you'll see me looking off camera. That's when I'm looking at the other screen, and typically that's because I'm looking at these meters right here. And that brings me to the next section, which is how I do the audio. And this is a little more complicated. So again, in the sources, you can see I have one entitled Reaper Out. Obviously, that is what's coming from Reaper, which is my DAW of choice. Then I also have Voice Cap, which is my voice. And you can see in the mixer, I have a meter labeled Voice Cap, and that is moving whenever I talk. Now, all of this is very dependent on Reaper. I'm going to show you how I set that up in a minute, but first I want to show you how the Reaper Out works. So unfortunately, while the music is playing, I can't talk because of certain settings I have set up. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to bring Reaper to the front. I'm going to roll the audio. Then I'm going to go back to OBS, and you're going to see level on this meter, but I won't be able to talk. So that's what's happening. Here we go. Okay, so the last thing that I want to touch on before we go and look at how Reaper is set up, I just want to say that if I go into my advanced audio properties here, you can see that I have 2 tracks enabled. A video can have up to 6 stereo audio tracks. So I have my Reaper output going in stereo to the first stereo audio track of the video. Then I have my video capture device going to no channels. That's important because there's a mic on my webcam, right? And then I have voice cap, which is the mic I'm speaking into right now, going to the second stereo channel of the video. Now, that's important because when I open this video up in my editing software, which is DaVinci Resolve, by the way, I will have 2 separate tracks of audio, 2 separate stereo tracks. One will be the audio from Reaper. The other will be my voice, and I can edit those independently, which is pretty handy sometimes for gating out certain things. So anyway, in review, my Reaper out goes to the first stereo track of the video, and then my voice cap goes to the second stereo track of the video. Now, again, all of this is very dependent on Reaper, so I'm going to show you how I have that set up, and for that, I'm going to go to Reaper. Okay, so over here, you can see I have this red channel set up. Please note this is set to record disable. That means that even if I hit record, it will not record anything. So here, if I hit record, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. So I just hit record and I did a check 1, 2 and nothing got recorded. That enables me to talk through the mic even when I'm recording. If I was making a video while I was recording something, I would want to be able to use the mic, but not have it record while I'm recording. That would be super annoying. Up here where I have my output selected, it's actually a send, not really an output the way Reaper thinks of outputs. It's a send. I actually don't have an output set up. It's a send, and it goes to reroute 3. Reroute is a tool that I believe is made by Kakos, which is the company that makes Reaper. If I'm wrong about that, please correct me in the comments. And if you are the person that made Reroute and you're not with Kakos, I sincerely apologize. Anyway, Reroute is a tool that allows you to route audio from one application on your computer to another application, very similar to Core Audio on a Macintosh. Anyway, this is very elegant. You just, like, let's say I want to set up a new send, and I select new hardware output. That's a little confusing because it's not exactly a hardware output. It's a hardware output as far as Reaper is concerned, but it's actually kind of an internal digital audio path to another application in this case, which is OBS. Anyway, if I select this, I have all these options. I have a bunch of physical lineouts on my audio interface. And then I have some mono lineouts, but then down here I have reroute 1 and 2, reroute 2 and 3, a bunch of stereo reroute paths, and then mono reroute paths. And in this case, I have reroute 3 set up. I'm actually not going to set that up because I already have it set up. So this is going to reroute 3. And then in a very similar way, on my master bus, I have this going out to my line out 25 and 26, which goes to my speakers. And then I have another output set up, which is going to reroute 1 and reroute 2. And again, that's the same deal. Just go down throughout my outputs and I would select reroute 1 and 2. I'm not going to do that because I already have it set up. Going back to OBS, my Reaper out, you can see my OBS channel 1 is reroute Reaper client 1. So that's reroute 1 over here. OBS channel 2 is reroute Reaper client 2. That's how I get my output from Reaper. And then in my voice cap, I have a mono channel 1 set up to be client 3, which, as we saw, I have this red channel sending to. And again, once all this is said and done, and I have a video, the audio from Reaper will be on the first stereo track of the video, and then my voice will be on the second stereo track. And that's how I do it. I hope this was helpful to you. Again, if you could, if you haven't already done what that stuff that's on the screen right now, if you would do it now, I'd appreciate it. And we'll see you soon. Thanks again for watching.